When it comes to building a home from scratch, you're probably going to end up paying more, and negotiating can sometimes be tough. Still, there are times when tactically and strategically, you'll have a better advantage with a new build. So today, we are going to talk about when those times are, and let's talk about the benefits. A lot of people don't think as much as I'm always talking about how new construction and inventory homes are, where you'll find the best deals. You can still win with a new build, so let's talk about it today. Welcome back to the channel, y'all. My name is Shari Hensley, and this is a #1 and original Living in Galveston, Texas channel. I'm a realtor living and working right here on beautiful Galveston Bay. Let's talk about this. When you think about new construction, do you think that you're going to get a lower price with a quick move-in with a speculative or an inventory home that's already been built? Well, you are. The builder's losing money every day on that home. Every day it's sitting there. The builder is ready to make a deal. The builders build homes to sell them. Still, there are times when it makes sense to build from the ground up. For example, what if you have to sell your home first before you can buy your new one? That would be called a contingency sale. Now, if you want to buy new construction and you have a home to sell, a sale contingency, it's almost impossible to take advantage of a discounted inventory home. The thing you have to understand is that the whole reason you can get such a great deal on an inventory home is because the builders want to close fast and get that home off their books. Basically, these inventory homes are costing builders money every day. Interest, maintenance, taxes, insurance. So they're going to give you a good deal to get rid of it quickly. Sell, build, sell, build. Y'all, that's what builders do. The quicker the sale, the sooner they can build more homes. Accepting a contingency sale that might draw out closing or maybe not even close at all, right? There's no guarantee, right? Your property's not in escrow or in title. It may not even hit the market. You're just thinking about putting it on the market, or maybe it has just hit the market. Contingency offers are really not what the builders want to see at all unless you have an accepted contract. You're in escrow, your buyer's been approved, you're ready to close. In fact, most builders want to close in like 4 to 6 weeks when it comes to their inventory homes. They want to move them quickly. Unfortunately, for those of you who simply can't wait to buy without first getting the proceeds from your sale, there are really only 2 options to make this work, and both of them, well, they're really unpleasant. The first would be to waive the home sale contingency and hope and pray that by some miracle, your current home will sell within that 4 to 6 weeks that you need in order to close on your inventory home. Now, this doesn't exactly sound like a good time to me, y'all. Now, your second option would be to sell your home first and just be homeless for a month or 6 weeks while you go through the purchasing process on your new inventory home. So this option comes with all sorts of fun logistics to sort out. Like, where are you going to stay for 4 to 6 weeks? With family? With friends? An Airbnb? A hotel? Are you going to put all of your belongings in storage? Because really, who doesn't like to move everything they own twice in a couple of months? Pets, will you board? Is there a hotel or a short-term rental that will allow pets for 4 to 6 weeks? Ultimately, though, whatever your strategy is, if you are buying an inventory home when you need to sell your current home first, I can guarantee you it is going to be stressful. It's going to involve some really tricky timelines and a lot of inconvenience. Not only are you hoping that the timing perfectly aligns for both closings, but you have to juggle the timing of having showings at your home all the time. You'll also have to do scheduling, inspections, and walkthroughs and orientations on your new home. So now you've got to constantly keep your house company clean and animals removed and be ready to leave when anyone decides to come and schedule a showing. But if you're like me, you're already starting to pack and to lay on more and more layers of stress, because that's just how I am. Now, all this is assuming that you've already gone under contract on your new home. Okay, so let's imagine this. having to do all of this while also going to showings yourself and trying to find a home and trying to get your own offer accepted. Now, on the other hand, if you open up your options to include a new build home built from the ground up, it's typically going to take, at the very minimum, 6 to 7 months and maybe even 8 or 9 months or more. That really is the stress-free way to take your time fixing up your home, getting it listed for sale. So you have plenty of time to sort out through offers and get a great buyer without the pressure of causing you to settle for maybe not a good offer. And you know exactly where you're going to be moving to. So now you can take your time making important decisions like where you're going to live. What design choices do you want to live with for the next decade or so in your new home? The truth of the matter is you're going to find a better deal on an inventory home, but sometimes when it comes to the logistics of your situation, whether those kinds of deals, those inventory homes offer really even feasible for you. If you're in that situation, a new build is worth fighting for. It's worth jumping into that negotiating battle and fighting the good fight. So let's talk about that negotiating battle. First of all, you may be wondering, why is it that you can get better discounts with inventory homes than you can with new builds? Well, for starters, builders want to sell as much as possible, but with new builds, the builder isn't going to be paid for another 6 to 10 months at a minimum. So maybe they assume the home values are going to go up between now and then, so they figure they've already given you a discount by selling you the home for the current market value. The other thing about new builds is that the builder is assuming all of the risk, y'all, every single penny. The price of materials and inflation can go up during that 6 to 10 month period. They've already agreed to a set price with you, so basically it's not their favorite way to sell a home. There are still ways to negotiate with new builds though. It is definitely more of an uphill climb, but y'all, it can be done. A first great option is to look for a subdivision that is just starting out. Now it's going to look like a big muddy field. I know exactly the view you were hoping for, right? Well, the builders know that they know the buyers are going to see it that way now, but it's not going to look that way forever. And unless there's a huge pent-up demand for that specific area, you're probably going to be able to get a discount here and these kinds of subdivisions. They may not have a huge selection of inventory homes built to sell yet. If the builders want to sell anything, they need buyers willing to take a leap of faith at this point, and they know this, and they'll be happy to make a sale that early on in the game. Now, keep in mind, you're going to have to put up with construction vehicles for a year or more, and heck, you might also be paying for HOA fees without any of the amenities you're actually paying for yet. So y'all, really, it's not for everyone. It's not ideal, but getting a discount on a new build, well, it just may be worth it. Another option is to look for a community with multiple similarly priced builders. Y'all, don't be afraid to pit them against each other. Sometimes this can be a great way to get that discount you're hoping for, but it's not always a sure deal. The key in these situations is to keep an open mind. You want to be open to multiple floor plans, multiple builders, so do not get emotionally attached. The builder that may not be willing to give you a discount, this could really backfire. Now, things that could change in the next few months, and I want you to listen up. This is important. Y'all, I don't want you to start talking about a bunch of design details or upgrades with the consultant when you haven't gotten the deal yet. You never, ever want to let the builder see your eagerness or that you prefer what they have over another builder. Keep the upper hand as much as possible. Take your time going back and forth between the builders and let them know the other builder's given something as standard that they don't, or the builder is charging a lower price for the same size house, whatever it is. So do you kind of get the idea here of how this might work? Your next option to keep an eye out for is multiple communities by the same builder. So let's just say you're considering moving to Weston or Ashton Woods or D.R. Horton or Lennar or Perry, whatever your favorite builder is today. Go look for multiple communities that builder is building in and do the same thing. Okay, you want to pit the sales consultants against each other. Go find multiple communities that builder is building in and do the same thing. You want to pit the sales consultants, this time against each other in different communities. Recently, we found ourselves doing this with Weston Homes. We have a buyer looking throughout the greater Houston-Galveston area, and we reached out to many of the Weston home builders and let them know, hey, we're looking at multiple communities, comparing what they have to offer and how much they're asking for the XYZ plan. Ultimately, though, if you're going to use any of these strategies, you've got to be willing to walk away. Always remember this about the greater Houston area. It has thousands of new construction options and more going up all the time. If a particular community won't budge, but you're willing to keep negotiating and keep looking for the best option, you probably will end up finding one that will. But if you're not willing to walk away, if you get too emotionally invested in one home or one location, you may not get the deal you're looking for. Trust me when I say I know what I'm saying here. It is a lot of hard work, but that's what we're here for. There are times it makes the most sense. How else can you be tactical with builders who aren't coming down as much in price as you'd like them to? Well, let's take a step back. Let's think about the basic definition of a new build. You picked a lot. You picked the house. Well, you've seen any of my other videos. You know that when buying a house, you want to be one of the smaller houses surrounded by larger homes. You always want bigger homes, making your home more desirable and more valuable. Buying a custom new build is a great way that you can take advantage of this strategy. You get to pick where, you get to pick your what. So when you see a neighborhood with huge houses, don't assume you can't afford to live there, y'all. It may just be the perfect neighborhood for you. Start by seeing if the area has any available lots and what their lot premiums are, and then see what their least expensive home is. Remember, they probably have a dozen models to choose from. Since you get to choose which model you want, pick a small one or look at it the other way. Whatever size home you've decided to buy, make sure the homes surrounding it, well, make sure they're bigger. For example, you've already decided on Weston Homes and their harbor model has 2,194 square feet. So you know that Weston Homes has been built in at least 3 communities, and so you can be strategic in picking out which community has the biggest homes and the highest prices and try to make your home the very best investment it can be. We can tell you exactly which of these builders builds a more expensive, higher level home and which builders can tend to create a low quality home. So be tactical when buying in a neighborhood you wouldn't otherwise not been able to afford. If you know you're going to do a new build anyway, pick a neighborhood with homes that are all bigger than the one you want to build. Now, I want to talk to you a little bit about something called equitable title in a housing market where home values are consistently trending upward. Understand that you're not getting the value of your new build in today's market. You're negotiating what it might be worth in 6 to 10 months from now. Now, the reason that is when you lock in a builder under contract, they're stuck to that price even as home values go up and building costs go up. This means you have what we call equitable title. So that term may be a little unfamiliar. So really, what is equitable title? Well, equitable title refers to a person's right to obtain full ownership of a property or a property interest. You don't own that new build yet. I mean, heck, it's not even built yet, right? But you have the right to buy it at the price you negotiated today, even though you won't own it for another 6 to 10 months. The beauty of equitable title is as the home goes up in value, all of that equity belongs to you, the buyer. So even though you won't get a deep discount up front, you do have the benefits of equitable title. In a very technical sense, you aren't negotiating what the home is worth today. You're negotiating what it'll be worth 6 to 10 months from now when you close. So if you close 10 months from now and the home has gone up in value, let's just say it's $20,000 during that time, that equity belongs to you. You're basically getting to build equity before you've even completed the purchase of your new home. Now, let's talk about the flip side to that, because there is risk here in seasonality. And I need you to know and understand that in the greater Houston-Galveston area, home prices tend to swing by as much as 10 to 15% between the spring and summer months and the fall and winter months. So all the while, home values are still generally trending upward throughout the seasonal changes. But this can really come back to bite you if you go under contract at the wrong time of year. So let's say, for example, you go under contract in the spring and you close in the winter. Once your home is completed, your home could appraise undervalued because seasonality is bringing those prices down, even if just a little bit. Now, this could cause some issues with your financing. Now, since you've watched this video, you know home prices are more than likely going to trend right back up in the spring and the summer. But guess who doesn't care about that? The appraiser is going to tell you what your home is worth at the time of the appraisal. They will base it on the most current home sales available. So if you have to close on your home in the dead of winter, there's a very real chance you could face an appraisal that comes in below what you agreed to pay for it, even if just a little bit. Now, why is that a big deal? Well, guess who cares a whole lot about the appraisal coming in at the purchase price? Your lender? Well, just because your lender doesn't want to give you as much financing anymore doesn't mean the builder suddenly cares if the appraisal came in low. Now, recently we closed a deal in Lagomar and the appraisal came in a little bit low. Now, the builder wanted to close that inventory home before the year end, so the builder eliminated the $3,500 lot premium and the deal all worked out. Much like in resale, when it comes to appraised values, the builders may not come down in price. In fact, some are very clear on this. If a home appraisal comes in below the contract price, you as the buyer will have to make up that difference on a resale. So that could mean the difference in having to bring $10,000 or $20,000 to closing versus not having to do it at all. Now, I've found that the builders that I work with want to sell the house, and oftentimes they will work with you to get the sale. Maybe they come off on that lot premium like I mentioned earlier. Maybe they throw in some free upgrades, or they take off the charge for some upgrades. I just want you to keep the time of year in mind. Seasonality can really hit you when you're going to be under contract over a broad span of time. Strategically speaking, if you're keeping appraisal values in mind, your better bet would be to go under contract in the fall and winter months when prices of homes will be down, with the closing in the spring and summer when prices will generally be up. Speaking of which, you need to know this about seasonality. Now, new builds do not follow the rule when it comes to seasonality. They operate with their own set of rules. So when you hear about how great seasonal price drops are, don't head into the fall thinking you can take advantage of the seasonality with a new build. You will be working in their strongest and most expensive market. You see, new builds don't follow the rules because buyers aren't moving in right away. When you purchase the home with the most transactions, since it takes a good 6 to 9 months to build, the high demand season is different than most homes. Most buyers want to move in the summer when their kiddos are out of school. The average build time is about 6 to 9 months. So it follows that October and November would be a peak season for going under contract on a new build. On the other hand, the months of January, February, and March, people aren't going to be ordering as many new builds because people don't want to be moving right after the kiddos start school again, especially not during the holiday season. So you always want to be strategic in this. If you can, ask how long it'll take to build your home and then consider the best time to go under contract. But be aware, you just can't benefit from seasonality like you can with inventory homes. There's too much risk in that appraisal coming in low. Your safest bet, if you're worried about appraisals, is to buy in the late fall, early winter, and then close in the spring or the summer. Now, if you don't need to worry about appraisal values, maybe you're a cash buyer. You stand a better chance at a good deal in the very coldest part of the winter. So think like January or February. Seasonality is a very real thing in the greater Houston-Galveston area, and even though it doesn't give you a huge advantage with new builds, it really can give you massive discounts when it comes to inventory homes. I hope you've gotten some value out of this video, and if you did, please go ahead, smash that subscribe button, click that little bell, and join our exciting real estate community. You'll never miss another episode. Give me or my team a call and let's set up your personal consultation. We'll make your move to the Texas Gulf Coast a smooth one. Thanks so much for watching, y'all, and I hope we'll see you on the next one.